All right, YouTube. So for those of you who don't know, I bought a 1986 Kawasaki JS 550, and a lot of the stuff wasn't put together. Like the carb hoses weren't on, fuel tank wasn't all assembled, but majority of the parts were there. So as you can see, this purple hose had put it on. But today specifically, we're going to be demonstrating or showing how to replace the head gasket. And just got this on Amazon, got a kit of them. All right, so you want to unplug your spark plug wires. Already got one spark plug out. You're going to remove both. I've got new spark plugs because these are bad. You won't always want to replace these like almost every year. But next we're going to take off the coolant hose here. You're going to use a 1/2-inch socket. Fits snug. Now when taking these off, it doesn't really matter the order. I like to do it manually just to feel how soft some are and how tight the others are. It just gives you kind of perspective on like maybe a certain area is not bolted to spec like it should have been or it came loose. So you got all the bolts off now. It doesn't come off yet, so you have to get some kind of a shim or something, and we're gonna try prying it off. You don't want to like use anything like a metal or something that's gonna like bend the head, but you know, something to pry it off. Once you wiggle that head cover off, you're gonna want to go ahead and inspect some of these lips here and make sure that there's nothing like any debris or anything. And I had to drain out some of this water and whatnot, but that's fine. And just give it a little inspection, make sure stuff's clean and flush for your new gasket. So this is the old head gasket. As you can see, it's pretty bad. I think they might actually have it backwards, but anyways, we'll put it on right now. But I'd already cleaned up, but there was a bunch of like black oil residue, and the old spark plugs were getting like burnt out, I think, and that could be something right there. Yeah, so I'm hoping with replacing this head gasket, I'll get a little bit more compression in the cylinders. When I ran the test hot and with a little bit of oil in the cylinders, I got up to 85, which is low. You know, you want to be in the 120s, the 150s. I mean, people say like 85's it's okay, but I'm hoping to get a little bit more compression with the new head gasket. So we're gonna clean the surface up here and put the new one back on. You might have to get yourself a little bit of brake cleaner and get all that old gasket and crap, just soak that, and then be careful, not for your safety, but for the head safety. You don't want to score or cut this, but you can carefully remove a lot of that old debris and crap sitting on there. Also be careful for yourself too, but you know what I mean. It's really important that you don't etch, score, or otherwise damage this head. So when you're done with all that cleaning, it should be smooth. Now some of this is just like stained old gasket or a little bit of surface rust. Nothing I'm worried about because I've got it cleaned off and etched away as much as I could, and it's very smooth, clean. So now we'll work on how this is going to translate to this head. Maybe look at a couple spots and just make sure it's all good, and we'll fit it and put it back together. All right, now I've gone around every single one of these studs and inspected and made sure there's no extra gasket left on. I found these couple etchings, which I don't know what the previous owners, or God knows, maybe 20 years ago, what people were doing. Some more over here. I don't like that at all. It's nothing very deep, you know, very superficial, but I'll have to make sure I tighten down the head gasket really snug. And by that I mean to torque spec, but maybe a little bit more. So, well, time to put it. That's the new head gasket. Set. So what I recommend in special cases like this, just set it on the top and make sure you have the head cover and the gasket meshed tight, and then hold them together as you wiggle it down, because you don't want to just push on one side of the gasket without having the head kind of as a support. Otherwise you risk cracking. And everything looks good. So we'll go ahead and get it bolted down. All right, so now comes the fun part. You can put all these back on, finger tight, and even a little bit snug. And now when it comes down to torquing them, you don't want to torque one side and work your way to the other, or this and that. You want to do like snug this one a little bit more than snug, then do this one a little more than snug, then this one, 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 then this one. You know, and you're going in like these weird patterns that are opposite of each other all the time, so that it evenly presses everything down. And then at the end, you torque to spec each of these heads. I'm sure you can just Google it and figure it out faster than me telling you. So these are the new spark plugs. I've got them in backwards just because I'm holding a camera, but online it says you want about 0.7 to 0.85. What is it? Yeah, millimeters. And so that fits snug right at 0.75, so we're good there. And we'll do the other one, and then we'll just hook them back up and we should be good to go.